You're now sitting at the Wavetable.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 27 of the Wavetable. I'm here with Jack White from Brainsick Records, who's been waiting to get on the podcast ever since, like, I don't know, what is it, like episode 7 or something?
Yeah, bro. Shout out to my boy Kai.
Hell yeah. And man, like, I didn't even know that you wanted to come on the podcast until recently. And then, yeah, we just made it happen. Like,
yeah, bro. I'm so glad we were able to make this happen too, because I'll never forget seeing that one like with him, and then I saw one with Dan, who's actually one of our new members of Brainsick. Actually, we're announcing him this coming week. But
that'll be perfect timing for when this comes out.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be sick. But I saw Dan do it with you too, and I was just like, dude, this is so sick. I love the whole idea behind it. I love watching it. So yeah, I'm stoked to be here.
Sweet. So let's dive into that. I reckon, like, Dan, aka Espioth, he was recently just an artist that released on Brainsick, but now he's becoming part of the team. So, like, how did that happen?
It really was just like I saw a lot of potential in what he was doing personally with Mythos, and I kind of wanted to just get behind him and show him, like, hey, like, I want you to see what we're doing, like, give you some kind of like insight almost, and just help him build his brand, but him like learning from us and really taking in what we're doing. He brings so much to the table as it is, just like on ideas and like structure and like just overall what we do. Like he's always been really supportive of what we do. So yeah, I'm so stoked to have him on board. So yeah, shout out SPR.
That's really cool that you guys are like trying to help him out, because like obviously I feel like labels probably see each other as competitors to some extent. But you saw someone who was running a label and then you decided to help them rather than try to bury them. So I just really respect that.
I mean, dude, that's kind of the cool thing about this scene right now, too, is like all these labels that are coming up, like, like Dub Lubs and Iteration Audio and, Mythos, like Putrid, all those guys. Like, it's just, there's such a love, I feel like, between all of us where it I don't know. It doesn't feel like a competition. Like, when I was so, and I know this was a very, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was such a cool thing for me when I saw Dub Lubs honestly pass us. Like, when they passed us, I was like, oh my dude, they're killing it, bro. Like, Matt and Kai are killing it. So, I look at it as a competition to some extent, because at the end of the day, we're in this for business. We're in this to help these artists grow and thrive in our music scene. But at the same time, like, they're doing the same thing we're trying to do, and like you got to love and respect that at the end of the day.
Hell yeah. And I guess it's like definitely healthy competition, because you're not going to be all fighting for the same artist. Like, there's so many good artists out there, and I feel like all these labels are kind of popping up out of necessity for places to release music, really.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like in the underground scene. Like, we've had just even like this year alone, there's been so many different labels that have been popping up, and it's been great for the music scene. Honestly, especially during these times, we don't have shows or anything, so it's definitely harder to get the name out there. So it's nice that we have all these coming up and coming up labels. It's great.
So, do we want to wind it back to just like kind of how Brainsick came about, and like, because you're the CEO and the co-founder of Brainsick, so you've obviously got the full story. Do you want to just like give us like how it came into existence from like the ideation phase until reality?
I really where it all started. It started from my producing, actually, and really just like my previous endeavors in music, because like I wasn't always just like in EDM. I played in bands and stuff like that. But you know, like it was more like a frustration for me because I felt deep down I had a really good understanding of the business side of music and how to get your name out there. I just wasn't ever really given the chance to,
right,
or like establish my platform for that. So I was like, I'm gonna just do this. Like, because I had this like thought whenever I was in like 5th grade. I was like, yo, I'm gonna start a label one day. And like the label I had in my head, it was the lamest name ever. It was called Jawbreaker Records. And I was like, dude, that's so lame. So I made a post one day and I was like, yo, I want to start a label for artists that deserve to be heard, because like there's all these big labels out there right now, but they're only given the select what they want, you know, like their exclusive artist list, basically.
Yeah.
And so I made a post about it on Facebook, and another guy hit me up. I'm not going to get into all that. We started a label, and he came up with the idea because like I was like, I have no fucking idea what I want to call this thing. And he was like, Brainsick. And I was like, oh, bro, that's gas. Like, that's it right there. So, yeah, it really just started with that. And it started with me hitting up just a couple of my friends, Dem Boys and Model X. And just like, hey, like, I'm going to try to do this. Like, would you guys be interested? And they're like, yeah, bro, absolutely. Like, you know, we see this, like, we see what you got here. And really a big part of like how this is kind of off topic. I don't know why.
No, it's cool, man.
But like a really big part of why this label is able to happen is like the support from like bigger label heads that we've been like, I've been lucky at least, and Gage is now, you know, he's getting there, but we've been like able to have those connections with like Deck from Rough Records. Me and him have like, we're really, really close friends. So, but you know, if it wasn't like, because that's the whole reason why this was able to happen in the first place, honestly, is Deck. But through Deck, I was able to learn, okay, there's a lot that we can do here. There's a lot that we're able to learn. He's been my mentor, really. That's how I look at him through this whole thing. It's been a pleasure being able to learn from him how to make things run and, you know, whatnot. So,
hell yeah, man. It's awesome to see that chain of people helping each other. Like, he's helping you and you're helping the small artists. And, you know, those small artists, they'll probably go on to create their own record labels someday. Well, like SBOth, perfect example with those records. So let's talk about Gage. How did you meet him?
My boy. Really, the way that Gage and I met was just Gage sent in a submission one day, and I was like, I was in love with it. I was like, this is great. And then just through talking to him, I was like, man, this guy is just such a genuine, like, good-hearted person. Like, he's not you know, like, he means really well no matter what. And so, you know, we had some early on in the label, we had a complication with the other co-founder of the label, and we resolved it really quick. But at that point, it left just me to run the label. But Gage had said from the get-go, he was like, dude, I love what you're doing. I'm so supportive. Like, if there's anything I can do, like, please. And so immediately at that point, I was like, yo, I gotta bring this guy on board. And he has been the biggest blessing to this label. Like, without him, Brainsick would not be where it's at today. Like, flat out.
That's dope, dude. Shout out to Gage.
Shout out to my boy Gage, aka Sludgy.
Yes. Also my Sludgy remix of Crash. I'm not sure when I'll put that out, but
bro, please let me know when you do. I'll hook you up with some promo on that.
Hell yeah.
On that home. It was a great remix.
Thanks.
poor competition, man. That was on us. Trial and error. We'll do better next time.
Just one of those like unfortunate things where like, you know, you're aware of like the whole cyberpunk thing, right? And it's like imagine if you're an indie dev and you release a game on the same day as cyberpunk comes out. It's like you're just gonna get fucked.
Yeah, and dude, the problem we ran into it with is like we did it like right at the end of the Disciple remix competition, and we were just we learned the next one is going to be great. We'll be working on that here soon. So
hell yeah. Yeah, so hosting remix competitions is kind of one of the things that lends itself into my next talking point here, which is like I really love how you guys go above and beyond like just being a label, because like you guys have production streams, feedback streams, all that kind of stuff. You know, you've got the serum skin that you hand out to people who release on the label. I just wanted to ask, like, how has the reception been on the feedback streams, production streams, DJ sets, all that stuff?
It's been really good, man. We found with the production streams, people we've done 2 so far. We plan to do more. Eventually, here in the next couple weeks, we're trying to build a list of artists that just would be down to do like a hour, 2-hour session on there. But yeah, those have been great. The feedback streams are just so much fun for us. Like all of us just always enjoy it. Because we love it for more than just like listening to new music. What's coming up from these guys? We love it because we're helping people progress. Like it's, you know, it's a very fulfilling thing to know that at least we feel like we're trying. You know, we're helping these guys. You know, hopefully they feel the same. But yeah, no, it's awesome. DJ sets, we've done. How many have we done now? We've done 2. We did one like when we first started as a label, and then we did one.
I think there was one a couple months ago.
We did one for the 100K place. That's right.
Yeah.
Which is like a fragment now, but you know, it was still, that was super cool. We did that. That was our first ever stream on our Twitch, actually, which we're getting ready to do a lot more on, like the production streams. We're gonna start doing a lot of those on Twitch and doing cross integration and stuff. So a lot of cool different ways that we're gonna be able to like have people interacting coming up.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, let me know if there's any way I can help out with that, or like if you'd like me to come on and do a production stream.
Yeah,
I don't know if
please.
I don't know if you have a requirement like must release on Brainsick to do production streams, but I will definitely release with you guys. We want
we got that in the talks already, sir. Edit that part out. But I'm just kidding. But yeah, dude, we would love to have you. That would be great. I mean, with that, we won't want to hold it to just exclusively Brainsick people. We want to hold it to like, hey, like if you feel like you could come on here and like be, you know, give knowledge to people, we're all about it. You know, yeah, dude, absolutely. Let's make it happen.
Hell yeah, man! I'd love to do that. So speaking of production streams, I noticed that Sludgy had a serum skin, like a Brainsick custom serum skin.
Yes,
and yeah, I was like wondering if there's any way that producers can cop that.
So yeah, with that, it's more of an exclusive thing that we do for like artists that release with us. If you like, you know, there's a lot more to what we offer than obviously just like a serum skin, but yeah, it's just one of the cool little things that we're like, hey, like, you know, as a thank you for, you know, trusting us with your track and letting us take care of your baby, like we want to give you this as like a thank you. So
hell yeah. That's a pretty cool incentive, because I feel like that's something you don't really see a lot. But it's like that's almost like a bit of merch to like help you like fit into the family of Brainsick Records, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just a nice little touch.
Yeah. So next I wanted to talk about like the schedule that you guys are releasing on. It's pretty much weekly at the moment, right?
Yeah, yeah. We from the get go,
Yeah.
from the get go, we've been on a
Okay.
weekly release.
So some records like release monthly and like they're pretty sparse in their releases. And then you have like fucking Disciple, which they dropped 2 EPs on the same day at one point. And then you have Subsidia dropping, what was it, like 160
120
songs?
120 damn songs. Yeah, the big ups for making that happen though.
That's crazy, man.
I was amazed when he did that.
So yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, have you guys ever considered doing a different release schedule?
Yeah, like I mean, it's always been in the back of our heads, but we personally, I've always been a big fan of doing the weekly releases from the get go. A lot of people have their opinions on this man, but you know, I like his like the way he formats his business. But Russ,
Right.
Russ from the get go, like whenever he first started on SoundCloud for 2 years straight, this man released a song every single week.
Oh my god.
For 2 years straight, this man released a song every single week that he produced, mixed, and mastered, and sung or rapped on or whatever he did.
I think I need to get on that grind, to be honest.
like it just shows that to me at least, I feel like it shows commitment. It shows like, hey, we're not messing around. Like we're not messing around at all. Like we're here and we're like kicking ass and taking names. Like, and our biggest thing now is like just quality. Like we are so tuned in on like what we are as a label that like it just everything falls together. It from the get-go, everything has just fallen in place. Like all of the artists that have released with us have been absolutely amazing. Like it's just it honestly, it blows my mind every single day. Like we're in the position we're in.
Hell yeah, man. You guys seem to like really be building a family of people who want to like keep coming back and re-releasing on the records rather than just using it as a stepping stone to get to somewhere bigger, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely got a family camaraderie to it. Like that, like, a lot of the guys, like one of my buddies, Scarecrow, he just released a track with us recently. He just hit me up, like, we know each other like personally and stuff, but he just hit me up. He's like, hey bro, like, I want to release with you again. I was like, really? Like, you want to with me? Like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, bro. Like, I love your label. And I was like, dude, I love you. Like, but no, dude, it's just been so crazy. But like, back to, I wanted just to say something about like the weekly or the scheduling. We do plan eventually to move away from that kind of where we're not doing strictly weekly releases. Like we definitely want to have it at points where we're releasing 2 tracks week and then like have a week off, like
right.
But it's right now we just feel like this is best for the label in the direction that we're heading. When that does happen, I don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen eventually. We're not going to be because we have other plans as well. I'll get into that with you later offline or off air. But it's coming. It's probably honestly sooner than you think.
Sweet. So would that be like more often or less often releases?
Less often for sure. We're just to give artists, like, we want to be able to promote them better in other ways than just a track. Obviously the track is the main focus. That's going to be your main focus of your release, but we want to do like other shit, like artists, like interviews and whatnot.
Oh, hell yeah.
And do there's some stuff that we're kind of thinking of. It's just we're working out all the
Sweet.
kinks right now. So
yeah, I think that's a really cool way to go because, like, having a weekly release creates a schedule that people can kind of look forward to. They know that every week they're going to get a track of the genre they want from Brainsick Records, but it's also really cool to like wind it back a bit, have less releases, but provide more value to not only to the artist, but also to the listener. Like you said, with artist interviews, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So definitely, we have some stuff that we're doing. I mean, there's been a lot of like stuff that, because like it's been kind of cool with Brainsick. Like from the get-go, we started at kind of this weird tier where we, like everything was DIY. Like all the art and all that was, I just like did it on some like random ass computer program, and it was like really janky looking. And then like eventually I invested in some art that I can just put a logo on and the name of the song, and then put and then I was like, nah, dude, I'm tired of this. So but it's just been like this cool progression, even with the arts and media, but like progression with like all of our like socials and like how we just kind of intertwine things. Like it's been neat.
Yeah, so you mentioned like how you created the art on some random computer program, and then you eventually paid for something, but it was like a template, right? And then you just changed the text.
Alec made our template. Alec, aka Anotic, he made our template that we kept for like 5 months or something like that. Yeah, it was a cool template. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it definitely was sick. It's just, to me, like, or to probably any listener really, like when you see the same template with every track, the track doesn't really have an identity,
Exactly, and that's why we moved away from that. Like, because that was one of Gage's biggest points whenever he came onto the label was like, dude, you got like, look at how all these other labels are doing it. Look how Disciple and Never Say Die are doing it. Like it's different, like every single track, like, but it kind of fits a theme. And I was like, dude, we got to do this. So we ended up bringing Anton, aka Nafer, onto the team, and dude, this dude has been the biggest blessing because, like you said, it's been giving identities to the track. People have more understanding of what they're going to be listening to now. Like especially, I don't know if you listened to it yet. Actually, I think I saw you said something on it. Maybe the new Margwa track that we just released today, actually,
I don't think I've heard it yet, but I do remember the artwork.
Yeah, but like you see that artwork and you hear that track and it makes sense. You see the Skirmish artwork for Dude and Espioth, and it makes sense to what you're listening to. Yeah. Like it just all is flowing now. And now especially like, oh dude, these arts that like are in the back right now getting ready to be announced, like nobody's ready for this. Nobody's ready for this.
Yeah. Another thing is when you got like this different arts done for all these new tracks that have just started coming out, you did a Facebook post showing like the cover arts, and I thought that was a really cool idea because a lot of labels, they'll keep everything under wraps, right? Just super secret until it's going to be released. But the way you did it, you created familiarity with the songs before they were like anywhere near coming out, So like people who have seen that Facebook post, they then see the upload on SoundCloud. They're like, oh, I know that cover art. I wonder what the song sounds like. So they click play.
Yeah, and like there was a point where we were doing like these huge bursts of release announcements, but like we kind of tone that back now. Like we actually have like a way that we plan it all out now.
Sweet.
as far as like, but that's definitely, that's, you hit it right on the head. That's the whole point of why we do that, is so people see it, they know it, they're already thinking of it, and then once it comes and they see that video drop for the first time on Monday, they're like, oh shit, it's time for that one, like let's go, like like I'm ready. So
yeah, getting people familiar with artwork and just expecting things to come out is so good for actually getting them to press play.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, with the, I want to wind it back to the feedback streams, because like obviously you get people sending in tunes for feedback and you help them improve their tracks, sorry. But I was wondering, like, how often do people actually get signed after sending in their tunes for feedback?
That's a great question. Because we definitely do sign tracks from people that send in stuff to the feedback stream, just because sometimes they hit and you're just like, oh man, dude, you've hit the head on this one, like congrats, like please, like let's do something here. And but yeah, no, it's definitely happened a couple of times. Dan Espioth, his track Shred, that was on our 1K, was one that he sent in. Beladowski from First and Encrypt, that we just announced the release of last week or the week before. I think it was last week. That one was from a live stream. So we definitely do it. How often? It's not as often as you would think, but it happens. It definitely happens. It happens frequently. I should say cool. That. It's just not like all of our releases come from that. Yeah. So, but yeah,
definitely seems like a good opportunity, though.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, even for other labels, like it's not just like you're submitting to Brainsick feedback stream. There's other people watching. I promise you that. Like, they're like, and not to sound like cocky and saying that. I'm just saying, like, you submitting not even to just our feedback stream, but you submitting to any feedback stream, there's going to be other labels watching it.
Yeah.
Like I know that there is other ones, that are of like our caliber that are watching ours, and I've even seen some of them sign tracks that have been on our live streams. No hate to that though, but because they're killing the game. They recognize something that they like, and they took the opportunity, and kudos to them. But like every live stream, you have that opportunity. You have the opportunity to put your face potentially in front of one of those big boy Subcarbon, Disciple, Never Say Die labels. You just never know.
Hell yeah, man! You raise a good point, because like I've been looking past that. I've been thinking about feedback streams as just a way to get more opinions on a track and like help me really get them to that 110% line. But now, like, I'm thinking, maybe I should like start submitting to some more feedback streams, not only to make my tracks better, but to just get my shit heard more, like to get my name out there more.
For sure. I mean, that's part of the game with these feedback streams too, is like, not only it works for so many good reasons. You're getting progress on your track if you decide to take what they're telling you and run with it. You're getting your name out there more, not only for labels but for the people as well. It's just an advantageous cycle with those live streams. It's really cool.
Hell yeah. I'm definitely gonna make like a note on my phone or on my sticky notes or something, like just like start submitting to more feedback streams.
Please do, bro. I mean, we're actually we're doing one. So with the feedback streams too, we were doing it on like a weekly basis. Oh my god, we were getting burnt out, and I think everybody else was getting burnt out too, because the live streams went from like 2 hours to like an hour. And we're like, okay, We've reached our point, and now we're doing it on a bi-weekly basis, though.
Yeah.
And it's been so much. The response has been better when we do it. We're more refreshed, so we're ready for it. Like it's been great lately. It's been really nice to kind of have this revamp to it.
Hell yeah.
Like personally, at least.
That's actually kind of similar to the podcast. I think after there's going to be one more episode after this, and then it's going to change a bit and become either bi-weekly or monthly. Just because, like you said, it's kind of like, it's kind of the same thing every time, and you get a bit sick of doing it. So you got to like make more space in between so you feel refreshed.
And and this is like the biggest thing for anybody. This isn't even just This isn't even just like people that do like this is for everybody. Breaks are good. Breaks are a great thing because like I mean it's been obviously it's kind of hypocritical of me to say that since we do weekly releases, but there's like I have breaks still. That's nothing for me. I love doing that. Like it's I love just helping people get their shit out there. But like it's good to take breaks because then you get that refresher and you get back to what you were doing and you're like like this is why I love this, So
So yeah, when you receive demos in like the traditional sense, like email or I don't know, I assume you get Facebook messages as well of just like SoundCloud links. Is there a feedback process with that? Or do you usually just say yes or no, try again next time?
Of course of course. We're not in the business of telling people you're bad. Like, like we are here. Like I've always said this from the beginning of Brainsick, like we are here to help bring community together, like
sweet,
and any way that we can, especially in helping people hone their craft and really master it. If there's anything that we can say, like, hey man, like this was a little off, like you're way too much high end, didn't hear that sub enough, kick wasn't coming through, like if we can give feedback, we will. Like we want to help people take it to the next level. I mean, in that we may say, hey man, we're gonna pass on this, but there's always going to be a but behind it. This is what we feel like you could improve on. This is what we feel like you hit the head on as well.
Yeah.
So
that's really cool because a lot of labels, perhaps bigger ones, but still a lot will either just be like, yes, or they don't even reply. And it's really disheartening to get that.
Yeah. I mean, I won't say that I'm not guilty of like, not replying, but I always like I'm guilty for like a week or two, and then like I'm like, oh shit, like I forgot to reply, and like then I'll go back and listen and be like, okay, that's what I needed to tell them, but like it happens, but I feel getting to them quick because I try to be as quick as I possibly can. If you send me something, me and Gage are probably looking at it that night. And getting back to you either that night or first thing in the morning.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, it definitely slips sometimes. Working, you got work 10-hour shift, come home and you're doing demos, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, no, that's completely understandable to be honest. And I think anyone who's submitting to a label, like honestly, I set my mark at like 2 weeks. If I don't get a reply within 2 weeks, I'm just like, okay, it's probably not happening with that label. So
I mean, I think responding one way or another is very important and vital to a label, especially. I mean, because the artists are going to progress. Like it's just a way that society works. You're either going to progress or you're going to fall. But most people progress for the for the most part. The society progresses, so artists progress. You have to in that standpoint. So yeah, I mean, cutting if you not replying is cutting off that tie to that artist, in my opinion. Like if I don't say anything back to you, like the chances of you never submitting to that label again are, it's pretty high. Versus if even if I say something like, "Hey man, I don't like this track, but like, please send stuff in the future." Like, that artist is definitely more likely to send something again.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That definitely is an actual thing. Like I've had labels that I submitted to, and they're like, "Yeah, not this time, but feel free to keep submitting to us." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll remember you." And then the ones that don't reply, I'm just like, "Okay, whatever. They're just not going to reply, so won't bother with them anymore."
Yeah, I mean, we try to make it really personable too. Like whenever we are talking to artists, it's not just this cookie cutter, like same line that we're sending to everybody. We're trying to be like, hey, like we're focused on you right now. Like, this is what we think that you need. This is what, like, hey, we love this. We really want you, like it goes both ways. But yeah, being personable is definitely it's always better for everybody.
Hell yeah. I love it, man. I love like the whole energy and enthusiasm behind Brainsick.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. We're trying our hardest, man. Nothing but love here.
On the opposite end, however, is there any like pet peeves or anything that you don't like when people submit?
Oh God, I think every label head has pet peeves of how artists submit. Yeah, dude, for sure. I mean, my biggest thing is if it's just send a damn private link on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Like, bro, whenever I get like a Google Drive link or just like a download, I'm like, oh my, because then it clutters up my like computer, and it's just it's a nightmare. Whenever I get
Google Drive is trash for audio. If you try to press play on Google Drive, it'll buffer for like 30 fucking seconds.
Facts, bro. Exactly. But yeah, no, dude, it's so easy to just send a SoundCloud link. People like, and another thing is just like long intros, really.
Right.
Like, just keep it short, sweet, to the point. Like, like, hey man, I really like what I'm not gonna say really like what you're doing. That's cocky as fuck. I try to stay away from that. I'm trying to keep everything in whatever. But yeah, no, just be like, hey man, like, this is my track. This is a little bit about the track. I really like, I really stand behind this, just something like that. That you get your point across with that.
Do you want to hear like any backstory about the artist, or do you really just want to hear about the track itself?
Backstory about the artist is good. With that, I personally, my favorite way to go about that is like if they post like their social links in their demos.
Right.
I love going through and just like showing them love, even if it's not a sign. Like, just going through and being like, hey man, like, you're trying, you're doing what you love, so why not support what you're doing? Like, so yeah, best way to go about that, in the sense of Brainsick, do that, like, because I love just going through it, because I feel like I find a lot of the artists in that, personally. But yeah, no, a backstory on the artist is cool too. EPKs are always cool. If you got a dope looking EPK, dude, for any artist, period. Like, this is aside from submissions. If you have an EPK and you send that into a label, I promise you, labels will they will pinpoint on you. Like, that is labels love EPKs. At least I do. Like, I love EPKs when somebody sends that in with a submission.
Oh yeah. All right. So, I gotta get that together for my next following releases then, because I actually made an EPK for like an EP that I self-released, and it was just like to get promoters and stuff on board. But
yeah, dude. Yeah. After the podcast, let's talk. I can point you in the right direction of all that. So, hell yeah,
sounds good. I'll definitely hit you up about that.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Discord now, which is like Discord is something that everyone has been starting to do recently, right? Like, we've got, Brainsick, you guys just made a Discord server. Dubwubs has one. I think Mythos has
Mythos
one.
has one. You have one too, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's basically becoming as necessary as like Facebook pages and Facebook groups and all that.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much why you guys went onto Discord, or did you guys have any like specific further, like more out of the box or forward thinking goals with your Discord?
Well, to keep the theme around like Brainsick, just like how we've always been about community and just providing a movement for people, and like just doing some deeper research. Like about Discord, I was like, yo, like this is a great way to bring community together in so many different ways. I mean, like on our Discord personally, like we have channels that are just like, what are you listening to? So like just anything that you're really vibing with at that time, just post it in there, because you never know, maybe somebody else likes that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been neat. We just started it like last week, but yeah, it's been really cool. I think that it's going to be a nice helping tool with all labels and all artists. It provides a personable connection to the labels.
For sure. You guys already have like some really active members in there as well. And I was actually surprised to see that, because when there's a new Discord server, it's kind of hard to get things going. Like, a lot of Discord users already have like the servers that they're active in, and then like when they add a new one, it's like, okay, it's there, but they don't really use it. But you guys just like right off the bat, you got people just chatting about all sorts of shit, and like you love to see it,
Yeah, dude, it's great to see like our whole like rhythm dubstep community just like all interacting and just showing nothing but love and beams to everybody. It's hysterical. I love it, bro. Some of the shit that they post in there, I think you even posted one and I was like dying. But like dude, it's great. Like, I mean, it's just such a feeling of everybody just enjoying each other's company, and definitely with like we there's a feedback channel on there too, and like that's been great too, for even when we're not doing the live streams. If somebody's wanting some feedback real quick, boom, there's your place for it, and people have been giving like super constructive criticism and critiquing in it, and it's been awesome. So yeah, Discord's great. If you're not on Discord, get on Discord.
Hell yeah.
it is cool as fuck.
And yeah, on the subject of feedback, I feel like there's kind of been a shift in mentality lately. Like, because, when I first started producing, I went to like Reddit for feedback, and there was these meetup rooms on, is it like Plug DJ or something like that? I don't know, it's just like some online room, and it looks like a stage, and then when your song gets played, your avatar gets put on the stage, and then like in that people would give feedback. But then like back in those days, people didn't really know like the courtesy around feedback. People would just be like, oh man, this song is trash, why is this thing there? That sounds like so old school. But like, really, there's nothing wrong with something that sounds old school, That's
not at all.
It just wasn't their taste. But, recently, like, there's been a shift. Like, everyone's like, okay, it's got to be constructive feedback. You can't just say it's trash. So definitely, like, jump into Discord servers, feedback streams, even email. Like, if you email me a track, I'm open to giving feedback. And, like, people aren't just going to tell you it's trash anymore. They'll give constructive feedback.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even like, same here with my line always being open, but there's so many people. If you just send a message to somebody, hey man, I got this track I'm working on. Would you be down to listen to it real quick? People will listen to it, and they will give you feedback. Not every single one, but people will give feedback. yeah, the feedback streams have, I definitely have seen a shift in that, because you're right. Like, I even saw that, even, I mean, I wasn't personally on Reddit, but I mean, I even saw that in like Facebook live streams, you know, that it would be like that. And I think really the guy that changed it all was Aonix. When Aonix really started doing his feedback streams, there was just kind of this whole like shift of how people went about it and how they talked about it. It was more precise and scientific, like way of going about things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely, like more focused on just like being as objective as possible rather than, you know, subjective things like I don't like how old school this sounds and shit like that.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't like a put down. It was it's like a, hey man, this is what I think it needs. This is, and you know, it's okay to sometimes say too though, like, hey man, this ain't it. Like this is not it. But you had this cool element in it, but this ain't it. Like, you know, it's okay to say that sometimes too. But yeah, no, it's definitely a constructive theme right now. I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the times that we're in, because sure. with COVID and all that, you know, it's brought everybody together online. It seems like a lot. Like, I mean, just think about this. Like, I mean, I'll think about this. I never thought I would be talking like to even you, like, you know, to people in Australia, like Kai and Matt and you, and like people in Poland, like Okrek Lucky, and, you know, people in Belgium, like Del Chero. Like, I never thought I'd be talking to these people, but because of the times that we're in, it's been such a community online that, like, we're all there, you know, like, you could be on the whole other side of the planet. It's daytime where you're at right now.
Yeah.
It's dark as shit out here. Like, I mean, but because of the way that the times have been this year, we've been able to have community like this where we're all able to interact, and, you know, all over the world. It's nuts.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, like I might not have even started the podcast if it wasn't for COVID. So
really,
it really has been like kind of a blessing in disguise of just connecting people from all around the world, and also just making people follow their dreams, you know, like shout out to Big Boss. I had him on one of the previous episodes.
I think I watched that one.
Yeah,
was he
he's
the
amazing.
Rapper?
No. I don't think I've really had a rapper on. But like
it was like I think it was the last one that you did.
Oh yeah, the last one we did like talk about a collab with a rapper. Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
That's what I'm thinking of. That guy was great though. He was fantastic.
But Big Boss, like, he had plans to travel the world this year, but obviously because of COVID, he couldn't. So he took like all the money he saved up and essentially just went flat out on the music thing instead of traveling. And that was awesome. That wouldn't have happened without COVID, but now he's fucking killing it with his music.
And see, honestly, COVID's been like kind of a blessing to some people. I mean, it's definitely been a blessing to labels. I mean, like we started before COVID, but I mean, I definitely don't think we'd be in the position we are in if it wasn't for COVID. I mean, as you know, shitty as it sounds, but it kind of has been like, barbaric more. So, but I have COVID, so it doesn't matter. Or I've had it. I don't have it anymore, so we're straight now. But you know, it's been great for some people. I mean, it hasn't been great in the sense of like we haven't been able to go to shows. We haven't been really able to have like, you know, because with shows, that's where you get your anthems, man.
Yeah.
If you think shows are the reason why anthems become anthems. Grizztronics, if that,
man,
I know everybody saw that video of that man playing that song for the first time of that Electric Forest and that crowd response. That's how stuff like that blows up. That's how Railbreaker blew up. Like, it's because of the shows, but you know, and we'll get all that back eventually. But you know, it's had its moments. It's had its downfalls, but Like, you know, we were actually planning to come as a Brainsick team to Australia. In 2021. I don't think that, you know, it's probably not happening 2021. We'll probably do it. You know, we will do it. Like, we're coming out there to you guys.
Let's fucking go.
Because God, y'all seen just Australia as a whole, just mind blown. Like, especially the boys in Perth. Oh my God,
yeah, dude.
bro. Holy shit, those guys know how to throw down. Yeah, those guys know how to fucking do it there. But yeah, like, I mean, COVID's had an impact on that. You know, just us coming to do something like that, doing shows in general. Like, we were starting to do shows. We did a show, and then literally like the next week we went on lockdown.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bro. It was like we it was bad. Like, I mean, the show did great, but it was just like crazy timing. It was like, whoa, like, guess we're not doing that for a minute. But yeah, no, dude, definitely plan to come that way one day. That's always been a dream of mine to come to your beautiful country. I love it there. Just like
sick.
all that I see, it amazes me. I love y'all's food too. Like, we have a place here called the Australian Bakery. And the guys from Australia, you know, like the whole family that owns it, they're from Australia. They're from
That's cool.
Wales,
New South Wales.
South Wales. Yes. They're from there. But dude, the food there, oh my God! Like, I go there and get their meat pies all the time.
Yes.
Oh God, bro!
Do they do Vegemite scrolls?
Yes.
Yeah.
They do. They have Vegemite stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever I go there, though, I usually just get Vegemite on toast, and I'm content. Yeah. But they may have those. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. But yeah, bro, it's so cool because like I just like I have that like taste of like that food. I'm like, God, I need to go there. Like, y'all's wildlife, and just, it's such a beautiful place. I need to see a cat. I need to see a cassowary in person.
Have you had sausage rolls from that bakery?
I have had those. Yes, that was really fucking good.
I love sausage rolls.
It was very very juicy. Yeah,
I imagine like they're fucking even better than the ones I eat because they're like actually, you know, baked rather than just like processed shit.
There was this other, like, they had like these like sponge cake things there that were just I don't remember the name of them, but God, they were good. Like
Lamingtons?
Yes, that's it. That's it, bro. Oh my God, those were so good. Yes. At least that sounds right.
I didn't know our food had such culture.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. I mean, American food ain't got shit. We got fast food.
You got hot dogs.
Yeah, well, I guess that's not really anything. I wish we could have claimed pizza or something cool like that. Thanks, Italy. Yeah. Shout out to everybody in Italy. I love pizza. That's where my family originated from. So
I love how like the origin of pizza is so contested though. Like, you know, everyone obviously like the consensus is Italy, but there's people who say it started in like, I don't know, China or something. I don't even know.
Bro, get out of here. I ain't buying any of that. Okay. Well, here, let's say this then. Even if it was made somewhere else, Italy's the one that got that shit out. They're the ones that made it right. So
Italy is the Skrillex of pizza, can confirm.
Yeah, facts, bro. Facts, man. Yeah, gotta love the Skrillex Italianos. But yeah.
Man, I think this might be a good time to end the episode. So, like, is there anything else you'd like to talk about or shout out before we wrap it up here?
We have shout out to you first off. Ben, aka Astroreign, for having me, dude. So honored. I'm so glad we were able to finally do this.
Hell yeah, great chat, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to my boy Gage for helping me since basically the beginning. Shout out to Dan for being on board now. Shout out to Anton, aka Nafer, Quiver. Quiver's on our team now too, which is great. But all those guys, all the artists that are killing it, I'm so proud of every single one of you guys. Like, you have no idea. We got 2 big announcements coming up. 2 future rhythm, melodic rhythm announcements.
Yeah.
We got Tronics coming up by the time this airs, I believe. It's gonna be gonna be this coming Friday. So that we release Tronics. We got Layum and Construct to wrap up our 2020 and Dimension to open it. So, I mean, we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. There's something along the lines that starts with Asylum coming up with Brainsick. You'll know more about that here eventually. I'll let your mind ponder on that. But thank you so much, Ben. Seriously, you have no idea. I'm so glad we were able to do this, man.
Hell yeah, man. It's been a pleasure. And all of the links, like demo email, Facebook page, Discord server, SoundCloud, that'll all be in the description, guys. So make sure you go check out Brainsick Records. And yeah, thank you so much, Jack, for coming on.
Absolutely, man. Honored.
Peace, guys.